The neat thing about this is that it's an art because they're making art, they're creating sculptures, but it's also a sport because they have to do it on a timeline. And so they're competing against each other, but at the same time trying to perform as artists. And the nice thing about it is if you think of it as a sport, it's the most competitive but non-aggressive sport because they look at each other, recognize each other's strengths, admire each other's strengths, and try to outdo each other while at the same time supporting each other. It's really kind of neat.
I don't know, at this point it's just something that I do. I think it's kind of the case with a lot of sand sculptors. You know, it's kind of entering its own different world that's totally separate from my regular world. You know, there's the sand sculpting community is kind of like an international tribe that's not very big. There's hundreds of sand sculptors. So you kind of enter this world where you escape in the sculpture and you kind of hang out with people from all over the world and meet up with them and do your sand sculpture thing. It's kind of an escape, really.
Absolutely love doing this. This is, I don't know, as an artist, as somebody who wants to create things, you get mediums to work in, and they're either slow or they're fast or they're. This is like sketching, but in 3 dimensions. You don't have to do anything to this after you're done carving, and it's and it just peels off. The material itself, I hate to say it on my shoe, the material itself is one of the most amazing materials to work in as an artist, I think. Well, I come up with the ideas as I work. I just ordered a bunch of form sizes, and when I got here, I put everything kind of just together. And I reacted very much to the space that we're in. Hopefully when I'm finished here, these flowers will be coming out, and I'll fill in that back area there and just extend this this landscaping around, because it fits right in with the landscaping so nicely. But I don't really think about anything when I'm carving. I just I really don't. I blast away my music, and it's an incredibly zen experience. It's not. I think if you know, when people describe religious experiences, I think that this is pretty darn close.
I did my first one in '75, and it just became a vacation hobby that I did for years, and then I finally found out that other people did the same thing and hooked up with them. So it's whatever 75 is, I don't know, 34 years. Well, in this case, there's a theme, you know, for this event. That's some contests have themes, some don't, but the theme here is World of Wonders. So I just thought about that and had several things that I went through, and finally decided on the way here in the plane to do the Great Barrier Reef of Australia. It's certainly a wonder of the world, and it's kind of a rich subject for sculpting.
Actually, my major was in theater, and it has that same sort of appeal where you spend so much time and effort making something, and it's just there for a short amount of time, and then it's gone. It's kind of the experience is what it's about. I mean, I really enjoyed the carving part. I mean, the piece is pretty afterwards, but it's the whole experience of going to a contest, carving, and then coming out with a piece. sometimes I have an idea, you know, as soon as I hear the topic of the contest, or if there's no topic, sometimes I'm thinking about what I want to do. I like to take something that's from my life and bring that into the sculpture, because that gives it more of a personal sort of feel. Well, at least for me, you know, I get more out of it when I'm carving it.
I love the feel of sand. I love the chance to try to create something new that I've never done before. Constantly testing yourself, and every day you get to look back and look at your photos and see something that wasn't there the day before. I like the fact that it's so adaptable. It's so strong, yet you can carve so many delicate things into it. I just like the feel of it. I like my toes in it. I like my hands in it.
What got me started in sand sculpture was seeing one happen on the beach. I went out one day, I lived on South Padre Island at the time, and they were doing a world championship or a Guinness Book of World Records piece. And I watched how fast it went from top to bottom, about 8 people working, and in one day they created a 10-ton masterpiece. And me spending 6 months on a little wood carving, I decided this is the medium I need to try next. And I've been carving ever since. For me, it's really, I'm not sure. Mostly I think about what I'm going to carve next, because I never plan my pieces ahead, so I end up constantly trying to figure out how what I've just carved will fit into what I'm going to carve next. Try not to carve yourself into a hole.
Right now it's more of a matter of what I have to do next, and time planning and management. Okay, I have to get this done at this amount of time, and if I'm behind, it's going to be, yeah, I'll have to hustle or have to scrap an idea. Yeah, so right now it's a matter of, okay, I have to get this part done as quickly as possible, and so I can race on to the next piece. Yeah. That's the tricky part. Sometimes you have an idea right away, and so you build and stack your sand appropriately. Other times you have no idea what you're going to do, so you just pile up and see, and you just start carving and see what happens. At a festival like this, it's pretty challenging because I'm surrounded by some amazing talent, and so yeah, I second guess myself a lot. But more often than not, it's just a matter of, okay, there's a pile, now let's make it a pile of boxes, now let's make it look like not a pile of boxes.
So, obviously the major one is the small shovel here. I actually cut this one off to fit in my luggage so I can carry it on, which is really nice. But that's used for like the vast majority of stuff. It's really easy to move this around and shape it and form it and move it, and they end up sharpening themselves to an absolute razor's edge, which is kind of cool. To refine that with a mason trowel, very simple. Pull out small edges, details with a palette knife. Brush off loose surfaces. This is the fluffy brush. This is great. This kind of polishes the finished surface. It gets rid of all the dust. And this is a high velocity omnidirectional silica particle ejection unit. Not to be confused with straw, because straws suck. This blows. And this is just used for getting sand out of crevices.